So if you've clicked on this video, you're more than likely considering getting into the high ticket sales space and industry, but you have a small little bit of hesitation of like, what is the ugly truth that nobody's telling me about? What is the gotchas of this space and industry? Now, I got asked a brilliant question on a sales call just 2 weeks ago from someone who tried to build their own e-commerce business, maybe got lied to a lot, I would say, from the coaches that he was working with around e-commerce of just keep pushing, it's going to get easier, it's going to get better, or, on the front end, you're going to make so much money from your first 30, 60, 90 day period, which by at this point, if you've, tried and failed a few business models by now, you and I both know that's not true. So after being in this space and involved in this industry for the better part of the last 6 years, there is more than a few things that most people, are not really aware of coming into this industry before they join like a course or a mentorship. And I wanted to come and share with you, those things in this video. The first gotcha is that this is not a side hustle, right? It's not a business opportunity like SMMA or trading or affiliate marketing or dropshipping, could be. It is a career, and you are working in a job economy. You're just working in a very lucrative job economy. And sales, just as any other skill set, takes time to learn. It takes time to get good at it. The same as if you, learn how to do guitar or really anything else, any skill set really. It's just the fact that you can get paid really, really well from this skill set. But you need to understand that along comes with that, you need to treat this like a job and a profession, and you need to show up as a professional, not as, some guy that started his SMA the other week. You need to treat this like you're working for someone else, because that is exactly what you're doing. So the second thing is that rejection is a part of the job. Now, you might be saying kind of like, it's sales, it's kind of obvious, rejection is part of the career, but most people don't realize this as much as one might think. And so you are going to get rejected from every aspect to do with sales. You need to understand that sales is one of the most fastest forms of personal development for that very reason, is because you will only do as well as you are, as good as you are, as skilled as you are, the person you show up as, the identity you hold. And so sales is a very ugly mirror, and it will reflect towards you exactly what you are not. And you may have a lot of preconceived notions about who you are and how successful you are and how skilled you are, but sales very quickly will show you, again, exactly who you are from a personal development angle, because you're in a people-to-people game, long story short. So you're going to get rejected from every angle, whether it's getting your first jobs. You're going to hear no a ton of times. No matter how experienced you are or how prepared you are, you will most likely hear no more than a couple times getting your first job. Whether or not you're appointment setting, you're calling people on a daily basis who don't know you've called them, right? Obviously, they've opted into the system and, they might be warm people, but they don't know you're calling, right? So they're probably going to tell you to fob off or they're not interested or they don't have the time. These are things that are totally normal, as well as like closing when it comes to objections as well. Like it's an important part of the sales process. If you can't do that and you're going to shy away from rejection, you kind of let prospects go, you're not going to do well in this career and industry. Not to say even, having your calls reviewed by sales managers or your coach, your mentor, whoever it is that you're working with, you need to be fully ready and prepared to be able to go through that process, because it's not easy. And if your personality rejects getting rejected on a daily basis, you will have a very tough time in this industry. The third one is that you're still trading time for money. Now, again, a lot of you might think this is obvious, but it's something that's worth mentioning, which is that yes, you can have geographical freedom and financial freedom, but you don't get time freedom with high ticket sales. You definitely don't get that, because yes, on some offers you can work less hours and they might have minimal expectations of you. It was a point where I was working 3 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I made 8 to 10 to 12K a month consistently for a year. But that's not most cases, right? You need to understand that. There are offers that do provide that, and it does allow for people to do that. But in most cases and instances, it's a wrong mindset to expect something like that off the bat, or even in your first 6 months. You should expect to work hard. You should expect to be trading your time. But the caveat is, or the on the contrary, if you will, it's, if you're working 30, 40, 50, 60 hours at your current job, you're just putting it into a better vehicle where you can have greater earning potential, right? Yes, it's stressful. Yes, you've got a lot of things going on. it's not an easy career, it's not an easy gig, but you have way more upside and earning potential compared to, most other jobs you'd be doing anyway. Fourth thing is you're more than likely going to fail more than a couple times in your first 30, 60, 90 days. It's going to be very uncertain. Even if you have the right guidance, the right structure and the support, it's a new industry, it's a new skill set, it's a new environment, it's a new world, really, right? The make money online space is like a whole different world that most people are not really used to seeing. So it can be really overwhelming. You're most likely going to make a lot of mistakes in your first 30, 60, 90 days because you misunderstand things, implementing strategies correctly. You are doing your first interviews for the first time. You're outreaching to people for the first time. You're trying to get your first job. You're practicing your role playing, all that type of stuff. It's going to be super uncomfortable. And it's very rare that I see guys are successful right off the jump. Yes, are there, guys I've worked with that get to 10K a month in 60, 90 days? Plenty. But in the vast majority case and scenario, that's just not the reality for most people. The average person that's watching this video, you may have a bad offer when you first start out. Even if you have great guidance and great support, you may have 2 bad offers when you first start out. You may lose a job, right? You might get fired. There's a number of things that can happen and can go wrong in your first 30, 60, 90 days, right? Even in your first 6 months, right? There's a lot of, tricks and turns and things can happen, right? This industry is somewhat unpredictable as to how things are going to go when someone first starts out with this. So you just need to understand that before heading into it, that it is not completely certain because you're working with someone like a mentor or a training program, a community, that you're going to get results from day one, right? Takes time. It's natural to make mistakes, and you should expect that in your first couple months. So that is the gotcha. That's all the gotchas, if you will. And if you've heard what I've said and you said, hey, this is not for me, then fantastic, right? This video has saved you months, 6 months, years of wasted time to try and figure out whether or not this is going to be for you or not. Or at least, at the very least, if you're really considering this and you really want to give this a red hot crack and you want to give it a great shot, you are now better mentally prepared for like what to expect when you come in this industry and you really pursue this full time. So yeah, hopefully you found some value in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.